Beneath the surface of the argument ocean lies a world rich in debate, where arguments are the lifeblood of knowledge. This realm is home to an intricate web of logic and persuasion, a place where arguments, powerful and fluid, flow like currents with the strength to shape worlds and challenge minds. But beware, for this ocean harbors dangers as ancient and perilous as any predator of the deep. Among these threats, 3 sharks of deception roam freely, masters of the murky depths, ready to tear apart the unwary argument with their razor-sharp fallacies. Join us as we explore some of the biggest, baddest mistakes in the rhetorical kingdom. Welcome to Fallacy Week. In today's lesson, you'll learn about 3 different logical fallacies, why you want to avoid them, and how to spot them in a faulty argument. Let's take a closer look. So, what is a logical fallacy, and what makes them so dangerous? A logical fallacy is a false or misleading argument that is often used as a means of manipulation. Fallacies rely on unsound reasoning that undermines logic. There are many different types of fallacies that people often use in their arguments. If you're not aware of them, logical fallacies can sneak up on you, just like a shark. Let's take a look at one fallacy you've probably seen before. The bandwagon fallacy is based on the idea that if something is popular, it must be valid or true. The bandwagon fallacy seeks to convince the audience to trust an idea, product, or person based on popularity. The term bandwagon dates all the way back to the 1800s. Politicians would hire a band and put them in a horse-drawn wagon. They would parade the band through the towns to raise awareness for their campaigns. Supporters would jump on the bandwagon and join them. Using the bandwagon fallacy is a crafty move by speakers and writers who make their ideas seem trendy to win you over. It's a clever trick, turning their argument into the latest must-follow trend. Once you're aware of the bandwagon fallacy, you will spot it all the time. Take a look at this example. Have you seen the news lately? Everyone's talking about shark attacks, and every summer there's a new movie showing just how terrifying they can be. If so many people believe sharks are dangerous, surely they must be, right? Why else would this fear be so universal? Why might the popularity of this idea not necessarily indicate its truth? While sharks might look scary, they're very unlikely to attack humans. Humans are not part of a shark's natural diet. Did you know that you're more likely to get struck by lightning than attacked by a shark? The reality is that sharks have far more reasons to fear humans than we have to fear them. When we step back and look at the facts, we see that sharks are not the monsters movies make them out to be. Don't fall for those cold-blooded tricksters who expect you to believe a claim just because it's popular. Step away from the bandwagon and do your own research. Look out for the bandwagon fallacy in commercials, conversations, social media, and political campaigns. Once you realize this logic is faulty, you will be less likely to fall for a bad idea. Popularity doesn't make the issue wrong, but popularity alone is not a valid reason to claim that a product, person, or idea can be trusted. Another dangerous fallacy lurking in the depths is the straw man fallacy. This fallacy is used to distort or misrepresent an opponent's argument in order to easily attack it. The term straw man represents a false opponent, much like a scarecrow, and this tactic is often used as a defensive maneuver. Distort your opponent's argument and then argue against the distortion. Take this argument, for example. We established earlier that sharks are portrayed inaccurately in films. They are often shown as indiscriminate killing machines, which is just not the truth. They are incredible predators with powerful instincts, but they'll often avoid humans. Somebody who wants to use the straw man fallacy to argue against this claim might say something like this. Critics of how sharks are portrayed in films claim all shark media should portray them as harmless, ignoring their natural instincts. They expect every shark movie to be about a misunderstood hero, instead of acknowledging the reality of their wild instincts. How is the original argument misrepresented here? The original argument had to do with how sharks are often portrayed as the aggressors toward humans. There is no claim that sharks should be portrayed as harmless or misunderstood heroes. So this distortion makes this a straw man fallacy. Arguing this way completely changes the original claim, so this logic is faulty. The straw man fallacy can be used by advertisers or political figures to distort the claims of competitors and unfairly discredit them. If you're listening to an argument, ask yourself, is the argument focused on the correct issue? In your own writing, make sure that you fully understand an opponent's argument before you try to counter it. Our last fallacy today might just be the most vicious of them all. The ad hominem fallacy occurs when the actual issue or position of the opponent is bypassed and the opponent is personally attacked. Ad hominem comes from the Latin argumentum ad hominem, meaning argument against the person. Have you ever had someone call you a mean name during an argument? They were using the ad hominem fallacy. This fallacy diverts attention from the actual issue at hand and seeks to disarm the opponent with a personal attack. Think back to our earlier argument about how sharks are unfairly portrayed as evil creatures in popular media. Let's say a marine biologist points this out to someone. They might respond to this claim by saying something like, "What do you know? You're just a weird science nerd out of touch with what makes a good thriller. Stick to your research and leave the filmmaking to the experts." Why is attacking the marine biologists an ineffective way to combat their critique? This fallacy sidesteps the biologist's valid concerns about shark portrayal by attacking her personally, suggesting she's too academic to understand entertainment. This fallacy diverts from the real debate, the need for media to balance entertainment with accurate shark representation. Instead of addressing her points, it undermines her credibility, avoiding the issue of how sharks are depicted and its impact on public perception. Look out for the ad hominem fallacy anywhere competitive forces are at work, most notably in political campaigns. Is there so little evidence for your claim that you have to resort to personal attacks to distract from the main argument? These types of attacks tend to discredit a speaker and invalidate arguments. Get ready for a deep dive on each of these fallacies. You're going to analyze each type in different scenarios and then apply the fallacy yourself. By the end of the week, you'll have a truly terrifying ad campaign full of those logical fallacies. This week, I want you to challenge yourself to spot these fallacies, not just in your assignments, but in the media you consume and the conversations you have. You'll be surprised at how many you can find. Good luck out there! As we surface from the depths of the argument ocean, remember that the fallacies we've explored aren't just academic concepts. They're part of the everyday waves of information we navigate. Stay sharp during this year's Fallacy Week, and remember to always be clever.
Hey, hey.